So in this chapter, we're going to learn how to solve quadratic equations algebraically. So the first way we're going to talk about is how to solve a quadratic equation by factoring. So first of all, we have to talk about this thing called the zero product property. And all it says is for all real A and B's, if A is 0 or B is 0, then their product has to equal 0. And the reverse has to be true as well. If their product is 0, then either A has to equal 0 or B has to equal 0. So we're going to use the zero product property rule to solve equations. So this one here is already factored, but we're going to apply the zero product property rule in order to find out what x would equal. So in order to do so, you're going to set each parentheses equal to 0. So 3x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 5 equals 0. And then you're going to solve each equation separately for x. So here you find out that x equals 2/3 or x equals -5. So here's a quadratic equation. So now if you're going to solve this by factoring, then obviously the first thing you have to do is factor it. Now there are several ways to factor, and I have put videos on Aspen showing you examples of each one. So if you need some help with factoring, please let me know. But this is how this one would factor: x plus 8, x minus 6. Apply the zero product property rule, and you'll find out that x equals -8 or x equals 6. All right, here's two more examples. On this first one here, in order to factor it, you need to set it equal to 0. So you're going to subtract the 3. Now you have to factor it. So 2x plus 1, 2x minus 3 equals 0. And then go ahead and use the zero product property rule in order to figure out what x is. Go ahead and try number 4 on your own. Pause the video. All right, first thing you want to do is subtract the 36. And now this is the difference of a perfect square. So this will factor as x plus 6, x minus 6. So x equals plus or minus 6. 5x squared plus 30x equals 0. Again, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can work through this one on your own. First thing you want to do here is factor out an x. So you have 5x times x plus 6. Use the zero product property rule to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So here you have x equals 0 or x equals -6. 3x squared equals 75. You're going to subtract 75 from each side, factor out a 3, and then x squared minus 25 is the difference of a perfect square. So you have x plus 5, x minus 5. Set each factor equal to 0, and you have x equals plus or minus 5. Try these two on your own and see how you do. All right, number 7, x is 1/2 or x equals -3. You're going to subtract 6. You're going to factor out a 2, and then factor the 2x squared plus 5x minus 3, and set each product equal to 0 and solve. Whoops. X squared, 9x squared minus 1 is the difference of a perfect square. 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1. Set each parentheses equal to 0, so x is plus or minus 1/3. If you have any questions on these, let me know.